Have you ever wondered, is this the right person for me to marry? Maybe you thought they were the right person once, and it turned out bad.
Would you like to learn how to choose your partner wisely? Today we're going to teach you the 5 principles you need to practice in order to choose a healthy partner. Welcome to I Have a Voice. I'm Dean Sunseri. This is HollyKem Sunseri. And we're going to talk to you about how to choose your partner wisely. Let's get right into it. Number 1, deal with your issues or your issues will choose your partner.
That means that whatever I haven't dealt with will seek out a person to help me heal it. But I would like to have worked on that before, so there was less of that and more of me.
Yeah. Look, whatever unresolved wounds that you have will influence your picker, right?
Yep.
You ever say, I just seem to have a bad picker? If you have unresolved wounds, it's like a lens that you will see people through.
Yeah.
And you won't see it directly, but you experience it later. You know, the word familiar comes from the word family. And if, say, for example, you were emotionally neglected in your family and you have not dealt with it, you haven't healed that part of you, you will be comfortable finding a partner who emotionally neglects you.
Yeah, and then from there, it's like you're always feeling abandoned and you don't understand why. Because this person, you really love them and you know that they love you. But if there's something that hasn't been dealt with yet, hasn't been truly loved internally, and you haven't really taken care of that, then it plays out.
Whatever our issues are, when they're healed, say the emotional abandonment issue has been addressed and healed, if I get in relationship with someone who's emotionally abandoned me, I'll have this signal go off and say, no, this is not right. I deserve better. But it hasn't been resolved. I won't have that signal, and I'll receive and accept that as someone who's familiar to me.
Yeah, and I won't be happy.
Yeah. So whenever you have unresolved wounds, they will be replayed either by yourself, emotionally abandoning the other, or you'll be attracted to someone who emotionally abandoned you.
Mm-hmm.
So deal with your issues, or your issues will choose your next partner. And stay with us to the end, because at the end we're going to give you a good resource in case that's you need to deal with certain issues. We're going to give you a resource to help you do that and work through it. Let's go to number 2. Let the relationship evolve slowly and steadily. Say that. Slowly and steadily. And the opposite of that is what?
Quick.
Quick and jumping in.
Yeah.
Look, you need at least 6 months to a year to get to know another person. When we fall in love, it's oceanic, it's awesome. We just look past everything that is weaknesses of the other person, and we just see the wonderful strengths of it. And it's only over time that you begin to get to really know the whole person.
I always call it like a swimming pool. A relationship is like a swimming pool. When you first, get it, it's beautiful. And, all the landscaping, and there's no algae, and there's been no storm, and there's no leaves in the pool. But if you don't take care of that thing and give it attention, that pool's going to be a mess. And let a storm come along, you really got some issues. You got to get in that mess and clean that pool. I don't care who you hire, you got to get in there and do some work yourself. So in this, that's what we're talking about. It's getting in the pool if it's pretty, and getting in the pool if it's not.
Yeah, that's good.
That's slow and steady, baby.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
So,
go clean a pool for a friend and find out how slow and steady it is.
Look, if you want to choose your partner wisely, you can't ignore the red flags that come up when you're letting it evolve slow and steady, right?
Right.
Look, we all come into the relationship with a suitcase, we say, right?
Yeah.
And that
Some
suitcase
come in with more
is hidden.
Than one.
How many you had?
Well, with you, I had a nice one, but I didn't have like I did in my first marriage. I probably had 40.
Yeah, so we all come in with a suitcase that the other person doesn't know about. But as time goes on, we start opening up that suitcase and letting them see the other side of ourselves.
Well, actually, what really happens is we come in with these suitcases that we're not even so much aware of, and the other person does something, and the suitcases bust open.
That's trouble when they bust open.
They bust open. Like, you know, you get off the plane and you go to get your bag and they got it taped. That suitcase busted open on the plane. Well, this is what happens in relationships. They bust open and you have no idea what's flying out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to let it evolve slowly and steadily. Mm-hmm. You know, love is not enough.
No.
You need to have enough time to see if y'all have compatibility, if you have same or similar goals, you have at least a mostly shared vision of the future. Things need to be in line. I could love someone and want to be in a relationship. If they want to go to Texas and I want to go to Florida, it's going to create problems.
Right. And unless we have enough money to have two houses. And, you know, I'm not saying people don't have enough money to have two houses, but the average person, nah.
Let's get to number 3. Create a top 20 list or top 20 vision of the ideal mate.
Yes.
So what are the top 20 characteristics, if you were to dream right now, what are the top 20 characteristics in the ideal mate, and write them down. Be specific. Income, where you would like to live, spiritual compatibility, habits, profession, education level. You know, write down the specifics of what is it that you want, and let this be the measuring stick of future relationships.
Yeah. Well, and talking about the way I do it is the way I train people to do it is you have a list of 20 things. The first 5 are non-negotiable. Like, I wanted somebody in my life that had a spiritual relationship, a personal relationship with God. You know, that was non-negotiable. I wanted somebody that was willing to continue to work on themselves.
Not in active addiction.
Yeah, definitely.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. I wanted somebody that was honest, that lived an honest and pure life. So in that, it's you write down the 5 things that are non-negotiable. Like, this is, if somebody is, you know, in this is, it's a no. Then the next 10 are negotiable. So let's say I want somebody I'm a nurse and I want somebody in the medical field. Well, that's negotiable. Maybe I'll marry a lawyer. Maybe I'll marry a businessman. Then all of those are negotiable. So it's something that, you know, maybe I want somebody that's never been married before. Maybe I want somebody that has been married before. Maybe I want somebody with children. Maybe I want somebody with no children. But those are negotiable. Then the last 5 is like perfect. Like, you're tall, you're dark, you're handsome, or highly...
Eat a keto diet.
You're a chef, you cook at home.
Love to fold clothes.
Yes, love to fold clothes. Like, things that are, you know, just extras. I call them lagniappes. So that way, if they have one of those 5, wow, this is great, you know, but you definitely do not move on the top 5. Now, you can always change your list as you continue to grow and work on yourself prior to being married, you know, but in the beginning, as you're making this list and you're learning about yourself, you want to have something to work with. So, you know, you don't go grocery shopping without a list, or you're going to come home with a bunch of things you really don't need and you're going to end up throwing them away.
But it's important to know what you want.
Yeah.
And it's important to write it down.
Yeah.
I remember I had a person I worked with who had gotten a divorce, and it was a very painful divorce. And after they healed up some, I had them write a list. What is the ideal woman that you would like to be with? And years later, they called me back. I think it was a list of like 25. And they said like 23 of the 25 characteristics their new spouse had.
Yeah.
And
you had all but 2.
All but 2?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask what the 2 I didn't.
No, you had never been married before, and I wanted somebody that had been married because I was divorced, and I just didn't want somebody just to take marriage not serious.
Yeah.
And then I wanted somebody over 45, and you were only 26 when we got married. I was 30, and you were 26.
I'm glad those were in the non-negotiables.
Those were in the negotiables.
I mean the negotiables, yes.
Yeah, those were in the negotiables. The non-negotiables, you had them all, and the lagniappe, you had them all. You had all but 2.
So create your top 20 ideal list or vision, and allow yourself to let that be your measuring stick.
Yeah, because in the Word of God it says, my people perish because they have no vision. And we know a lot of people's relationships perish because they have no vision.
Yeah, and when you find that person you're developing a relationship with, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we have lots of videos on how to develop a healthy relationship. So you can look at those and really benefit from that. Number 4, don't marry potential.
Not a good thing.
No.
It's great for somebody to have potential because you want them to
Of course,
grow.
of course, we're going to continue to grow. But you don't say, I'm going to help her stop drinking once we're married. No. Or he'll one day get a job. No. You don't marry potential. Or he or she wouldn't be as controlling once we get married.
Right.
No.
He's going to stop dealing drugs when we get married. I know.
Look, you can't marry potential. Don't let your desperateness for a mate override common sense.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
Or spiritual sense.
Everybody has issues, but the question you need to ask is my potential partner aware of their issues, number 1, and actively working on them? If he doesn't have a job and not trying to get a job, it's trouble. They're spending 8-10 hours a day beating the bushes, looking for jobs, looking at the paper, putting out this and that. Okay, that's a different thing. They're actively working on it. But if they're not going to change. Mm-mm. And the other question you need to ask yourself about don't marry potential is, do I want them to grow in an area more than they want it for themselves?
That's called
enabling. But if you want something for your partner more than they want it for themselves, and it's a very important thing, it's a red flag, not that only the other person, but it's a red flag for yourself.
Right, and they'll resent you for it. If you really want them to go to college and you want to marry somebody with a college degree and you're pushing, and they really, really don't want this, they'll resent you for it.
Yeah.
So, because maybe they wanted to be, electrician and you want them to be a businessman. Well, they might not that an electrician isn't a businessman, because I know some that are highly, very successful electricians. But I'm just saying that, they want to work with their hands and you want them to wear a white collar shirt. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
You have to honor their wishes.
And number 5, consult your most trusted friends.
The word here is trusted.
Trusted. Like, talk to your most trusted friends or perhaps your family and ask them for their honest opinion of your potential partner. So we're taking for granted that you're giving this some time. You've given it 6 months to a year, right? And you're also having multiple interactions with your friends, with your family, and they're getting to meet this potential partner. And at some point, if you're starting to get serious about wanting to choose this as your partner, sit down with your most trusted friends and say, give me your honest opinion about how do you think this person's compatible with me as a mate? Do you think it'll work or not? Right?
Right.
You have to be willing to stretch, because sometimes love is what? Love is blind. Mm-hmm. So we might be missing some of the obvious things. And a trusted friend that's for you will tell you the truth and help you see things perhaps that you may not see. We always say, work it out before you hitch it up.
Yep.
You got to work it out before. I did a wedding recently, a wonderful wedding. And what I admired about this particular couple is that they had some very big things that needed to work through, just like a lot of couples. They had to work through,
all people.
Blended family, all kinds of stuff. And they did all of the work before they got married.
Yeah.
And the marriage was really easy. And I really admired that they worked it out before they hitched it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really wise thing to do.
I do too. There's no rush.
There's no rush.
No.
Now, going back to the first recommendation about dealing with your issues so your issues don't choose your partner, we have a wonderful resource here that as you journey to address your issues before marriage, it'll help you walk through this. That's what? Tell them about this resource.
Well, this is a book that we wrote, and it's a way to really know who you really are on all levels. Like my wounded self, how I protect myself, how I zone out, wall myself up, and then who am I really? So by walking through that journey, you want your true, authentic, true self to pick your partner. You don't want to pick a partner from wounds or traumatic bonding. You don't want to pick your wounds from that this person doesn't trigger me and, I'm walled up. So, and we're in this walling business. So, you really want to pick your partner from your truth. So this is it's a great resource.
It's a great resource, and it has exercises. One of the exercises will actually help you heal some of the issues that you're carrying from the past.
Right.
And one of the exercises will help you develop a vision for the future and your ideal partner. So the very things that we're talking about, you'll be able to walk through that as you walk through this particular book and do the exercises.
Yep.
We also have a video that we did called The 7 Ways to Strengthen a Relationship or a Marriage and Avoid It Going to Divorce or Breaking Up.
Yeah.
And so if you wanted to work on your relationship and to strengthen it today, click on this video right now and we will
See you in the next video.
God bless.